lush green fields of the Philippines, rolling through tropical village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week 69 of the Philippine house build for a TPF update. As you can see, I do not have a crutch or the crutches. I was using a quad cane for the past week. It turns out last week when I actually made the house video, that night I was editing the video, and when I went to go to bed and put my crutches to the side of the bathroom sink, I actually picked up my crutches and took a step, and I thought, okay. So I was shuffling my feet up and down the bathroom counter there, and was going to tell Flora, but Flora had already gone to bed, so I waited till morning to tell her that I did some walking. And that morning, that's when I started trying to walk as much as possible and started using the quad cane. So I've used that for about a week now. And then today I am without the cane and walking around. I'm limping a little bit, but like I think I said in a previous video, I do have a dead spot in my leg. Somewhere it's by my knee, but it's to the side of my calf. So if you've ever had wherever your foot fell asleep or your hand fell asleep and then you try to use it, that's sort of what it feels like. So when I wake up in the morning, or if I stand for a long time, then it feels like my leg has fallen asleep, and it takes a while for it to actually get going again. And then so what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and do the tinfoil hat to retirement.
Tinfoil hat blocking the skies, apple to ribs in disguise. Bonds are sinking like the sun, recession loading, it's begun. Dollar short, the deficit's deep, bankruptcy haunts every sleep. Retirement age climbing high, quality of life says goodbye. Quickly sold. The dream is cracked, it's turned to dust. Work for meals and earn no trust. Dollar short, the deficit's deep. Bankruptcy haunts every sleep. Retirement age climbing high. Quality of life says goodbye.
All right. Again, when you watch Tinfoil Hat to Retirement, again, there's something that has to make you finally decide that you want to move to another country. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Philippines, but just go to a place where the economy treats you and your money well. So I am starting off on the back porch of the master bedroom. Not much has been done on the wall. They did take the two columns or two levels down, so of course we can see out towards the road and some of the houses there. And all of the tiles is here on the back porch. And then going into the master bedroom, if there's anything new here. Oh, no trim on the bottom yet. And lights are the same. Mob Wood is still working on the cabinetry. They still need to find the wood backboard. And like I said, they probably would have had enough wood if they didn't cut it to put it above the door. So if they didn't put it above the door and would have just stopped at the door, then they probably would have been able to finish this left side here. Now let's go ahead and go into the walk-in closet. And in here, they finally added our doors to the closets. So this is Flora's side here. They haven't put all the doors in yet. So we got glass doors, just so that we can see on the inside. And someone had also mentioned too, like how you're supposed to hang your clothes up in here. And of course, later there'll be a metal bar that you can hang shirts and pants and everything on there. Same way down below. So that's that side, and then this is my side. They've got those doors up so far. Again, it's just glass doors, and then they open up, and then they have a slow close as well, I believe. Let's see here. Yes. All right, so that is the slow closed door. And then on here, I think the only thing that we changed in here was this brown cabinet here. Let's see here. So what you'll see in the other cabinets, I think they've got lights on them, but since we had a mirror that's going to be going here that's lighted, Flora went ahead and told them that we didn't need a light in this cabinet, so I think they changed it out. And then that way we don't need the light there. Still need the window people to come out. And let's go back out this way. So nothing new in here as far as the walk-in closet. And this is, of course, again, the TV console. See, down below you can see that extra wood that was cut. And if they would have just kept the panels instead of going across the door, they would have had enough wood to finish this side over here. And it's just supposed to go to the end right here. And then this space here will be shelving. But yeah, I sort of wish they would have kept that wood trim right there. That would have been nice. Maybe they'll put the wood trim back on there and then put it above that. I don't know. But yeah, I was really hoping they would have stopped at the door and then they could have just finished that off. So now they have to go out and buy new wood, and hopefully they can find wood that matches that wood in order to finish it. And then let's go this way. All right, so in this room here, cabinetry's right here. I think what we're going to do here is, this is going to be a lighted mirror as well, or a mirror right here, and then TV here. And I'm just going to take a look here. So this is the cabinetry. So metal bar will go across there to hang things. You got storage up there, storage below. And let's go outside, or look outside. And we are going to take a look at, all right, so this is again the water building right here. So we'll take a look right there, and that is as much as they've gotten done there. I think they made it a little bit higher, so they did, there's forms on there, so the posts are higher. And like I said, I believe the water tanks are going to be going on the top, and then we'll put a water filtration system in the actual structure. So water filtration in the structure and water tanks on top of the structure. And now when you go in here, they do have the light on in this bathroom. So the shelving light is that one right there. And that, but hopefully you got a chance to see it, because I know that they had the lights on in here earlier, and hopefully they didn't turn off the lights, and it looks like they did. Maybe they disconnected. I know, let's turn this one. No. All right, looks like they just turned off the electricity in here, and I wanted to show the lights because when I came in this morning, all the lights were on in this room, and so it looked pretty neat. So cabinet stayed the same, and I wanted to go ahead and show the lights here for this bathroom because the bathroom lights were on, or at least the cabinet light was on. And like I said, you got a brief look at it before they just, this toilet space here in the door. I don't know if I said it in last week's video. So that toilet, this door will not clear the toilet there. So we thought that they would have to move the door, but they just said, well, let's just get another smaller toilet. So they're going to get a smaller toilet to put there so that way we can close the door and it should clear the smaller toilet. So it's the length of the toilet that we have is just too big for that particular bathroom, and we should clear everything else. All right, let's take a look at the lanai area. And in the lanai, let's see here, I think they finished the steps for the lanai. So there's that right there. All right. So this is our power outlet. All right, awesome. Very good. Thank you guys. Woo, that looks neat. All right, so that was our power outlet. We put it in the actual island of the table. And I think everything else stayed pretty much the same in here. And then the only other suggestion I think they were talking about was on this range hood right here. I think we were going to try and have this lifted up to maybe right about here. Because I think the range hood in Arizona, when I stood next to it or stood in front of it, it was eye level with me. So my eye level is right about here. So maybe this range hood would be put right here. So that's a possibility. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. And then we'll go over this way, take a look at the space here for the wall. Nothing new on that yet for the TV console. But I think the backing is here somewhere. And of course we got all the drawers right there. And then we'll go over to the CR. So it does look like in this powder room CR, they did the floor tiling. So there's the floor tiling. And ceiling is in, of course. So that's good. And then we'll go in here. All right, so this looks like they did do an update here. So in the laundry room, they added the backsplash. So there's the backsplash along this wall here. So we do have the backsplash up, and I think they also grouted. They started to grout the tiles. So if you look right down there at the tile work, you can see the white that goes in there. So they are doing the grouting. So looks like they finished this room grouting and backsplash. And then here is the kitchen area. Of course, they still have some work to do between the granite counter and what it's sitting on. And looks like they started the backsplash on this as well. So there's the backsplash there. So they were able to add that. And they'll continue that backsplash. Looks like there it is right there. And they'll just keep putting it across that way. Inside, you can see the dish rack right there. And then going into the maid's quarters, I think they tiled in here. So in the maid's quarters, yes, everything is tiled. Floor is tiling. They just need to add the ceiling. So this maid's quarters is almost done. I was pretty surprised that they got this part done, so that's good. So maid's room, quarters, and their bathroom. And now I just want to take another look at the kitchen area here. Yes, looks nice. And again, this is the view outside of the kitchen, so it goes right over the garage area. So we'll be able to see vehicles, and of course our gate then will go out onto the road there. Looks like they're still cutting the backsplash there. And then we'll go out this way just to do one look at the living room and kitchen areas again. So again, here is the island. This is where bar stools will be placed. And then we have the pop-up that we got. Refrigerator will go there, everything else is there, and they just have to put the backsplash that you saw in the other laundry area and kitchen area, that's what will be put back here as well. And we'll just keep an eye out to see when they raise that range hood, and we'll see about them finishing the TV console there. All right, so again, thank you for joining Arizona Trails, the Philippine Tales, now that I can actually walk around. And we'll see you again next week. So thank you for joining us for week number 69 of the Philippine House Build. You have a wonderful day. Thank you, and bye-bye.